Hey YouTube, it's Matt with Olympus Reptiles, and myself, Caleb, and Kurt, we just got back from the Kansas City Reptile Show. There's several conferences that do Kansas City. Today we were at the Cold Blooded Expos in Kansas City, which is located right there in Overland Park. I'll give you my impressions of the show, kind of how we did, and just a really quick overview of what we do when we get home. So, first of all, this show was ran at the same time as NARBC St. Louis. So, St. Louis ain't that far away from Kansas City, probably like 4 hours. So, I was a little concerned that, man, is foot traffic going to be down because NARBC is not that far away. But it's a one-day show. It's a show we don't have to get a hotel for. We can just go in the morning, bam, do the show, and come back home. It makes for a long day, but it keeps all that overhead kind of stuff down, and it also lets us have most of our weekend. So we decided to go ahead and go to this. NARBC, be damned. I got to tell you, first of all, Cold Blooded Expos did an awesome job because we had really, really great foot traffic. The nice thing is it's a very established show. It's been in Kansas City, some other places for a very, very long time. Everybody knows about it. They're going to sell out all the vendor tables. I don't think there was an empty table in sight. And it was pretty well, VIP started at 9, regular door started at 10. And I would say from about 9 to 10, there was kind of a trickle. I can't remember if we sold anything between 9 and 10 or not. We might have one or two, but we'd kind of gotten set up. We were ready to go. And then, man, once the doors hit open, it was like a floodgate. There was a ton of people in there most of the day. We didn't even really get a chance to look at much other stuff from other people. There were some other really great vendors there. We were right by SSR and Tim Simon, which, we love Tim. SSR does a good job. Tall Grass Reptiles was there. Manhattan Reptile Planet was there. Those are some of the local ones that I know of that were right there in Kansas City. Split Tongue Exotics was another one that I know that was there. Split Tongue Exotics, that's right. I think Tornado Alley was there, another Kansas company. So there was a lot of the local Kansas and Missouri folks there that do a really good job. And I know I'm leaving out tons of other breeders, so it's not a slight. There's just no way in hell I can remember everybody who was there, right? Tons of them. As far as variety at the show, we didn't get to walk around and really see all the variety, but I know I saw a lot of people with axolotls, because we'd see customers carrying them, right? There was an Ackie monitor that one person was stopping at the table had picked up an Ackie monitor somewhere else. That was really cool to see. There was some corn snakes. I know there was some carpet pythons. I believe there was some short tails. We took ball pythons and some boas. Some other people had some boas. So it was a pretty good variety. A lot of spiders. Eighth Element, forgot to mention them, so I don't think of those spider folks. Eighth Element was there. And of course, they do a banging job with spiders. Also pretty local to us. So there was just a lot of really good animals there. A lot of high quality folks. And man, the door from beginning to end was pretty busy. I would say from about 10 o'clock to really about 3, it was pretty hopping. And then that last hour, it kind of slowed down, which is pretty normal. People aren't going to pay a door fee to walk through for an hour, which I totally get. And no, I am not paid, or no, I want to get a discount to say, oh, the show did great. It was just a good turnout of folks. So how did that translate to sales? How is the market really doing at our local level? Because when we talk about the market in ball pythons, right, you've got kind of that national market we'll talk about online with places you'd sell, like, say, Morph Market or whatnot. And then the local market's a little different, right? Because people can come, they can buy a snake, they ain't got to pay shipping. They can see it, they can hold it in their hand, everything like that. Prices at a show right now are pretty good for the buyer. I mean, I'll be honest, they're pretty good for the buyer. That's not the market's crashing, the market's dying, none of that. The market's doing exactly what it's supposed to do. It just is. And if you're not okay with it, if you're looking at this market and you're saying, oh, the market's terrible, I can't survive because the prices are doing this is horrible, 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 my challenge to you would be look at it, see why that is, see why you can't survive, and correct that with your shit. Because this is going to be a market that always does this. Like any other market, it's not collapsing. Yes, the prices have crashed a bit. It's really just a big correction. It's something we told you was coming for years, fucking years. All you had to do was listen. We were saying it. Other people were telling you, no, it's never going to do that. It always does that, y'all. So it's not a problem. How do we really do? One of our big goals today was to move animals. We wanted to have less mouths to feed. We moved double digit snakes. I think it was 10 or 11. 11, Caleb says. We moved 11 animals. That's pretty solid. I mean, it's a one-day show. You're there you're selling, it's about 2 animals an hour, give or take. The highest end of our high-end stuff, we brought home, right? The stuff on the very, very low end, we brought most of that home. What really sold well today for us was the stuff kind of in that middle, man. It was really that about $150 to $300, that range, or $350 or so, where we really, really did well. That's kind of to be expected when the pricing and the market and the economy is like this. Less people are looking to drop big bucks, but people are going to still get in, which is great because later on they will then call you to drop big bucks. You got to think of these reptile shows and selling that snake as you're building a network. You're building a customer who's happy, and then when they want to invest that larger sum, they're going to invest it with you, whether they come and see you at another show or they contact you directly. All in all, I'm pretty happy with results. Moving that many snakes is good. We didn't bring home any extra, probably because we were too busy to take time to shop, but you really can't beat that. I mean, we'll be back at shows pretty frequently, so we're going to hit this area really hard. So if you're hitting Kansas City shows, Tulsa shows, Oklahoma City shows, Nebraska shows, maybe even some Iowa shows out in Colorado, look for us. We ain't going to be at every one, but we're going to hit probably, I ain't going to run the Tim Simon way, man. That dude is like I think there's 3 of them. He's like, what do you always joke about that guitarist from Guns N' Roses? Like Slash, there's like actually 4 Slashes if you listen to, South Park, and he's everywhere, every birthday here and there. I think Tim Simon is like Slash. That dude, I think, is at every show. We're not going to run like that, but you will see us a lot more than you have in the last few years past, which for us is a good thing. I like getting to shows. I like interacting with people. It's part of why I got into the reptile hobby, right? When I first went to my first shows, it was a lot of fun, and I really want to be the guy behind the counter and interact with everybody and selling snakes I made to other people. It's just, to me, personally, a lot more fun than putting it in a box and dropping it in the mail and not getting to see the reaction. Like my favorite sale we made was we had this little guy come up with his family, and he was turning 8. It was his birthday, and that was what he wanted, and he chose our table to buy a snake. So I didn't even let him negotiate price, and we hooked that kid up pretty good. And the reason is because I want to be the one to make that kid have such a good day. I don't want him to go 2 tables away and have his good day there. Not that the other vendors wouldn't have been great. I just wanted to see that smile and see that excitement. That's what it's really about. It ain't about getting rich. It's about that right there. That's my favorite thing to do at a show. So how do we do this when we get back? We just got back today, literally. So if you look at this is one display case, we have 4 of these we have to deal with. So what we'll do is we'll go through here and we'll put all of these back that need to go back. If we put a snake back, we're going to leave its label on the tub right here. This label's going to stay, right? And then when we go to our next show, that snake will go right back there. Pretty simple. It's easy to fill. Things that are sold like this one, we're going to clean that off, and that's what we'll refill in new stuff with. That kind of keeps it there. It also tells us, hey, we had this. We're already priced where we want to be, or maybe we don't. Maybe we want to lower it. Lets me know how long I've been taking that thing to a show. Helps me track a couple things. Every single animal, when we go to a show and come home, everything is treated before we go and treated when we come home. Just one little spritz of the mite spray. Not because they're there, just because one bad thing about shows, so many people walking in and out. It doesn't take but one person who has mites at their home to come to the reptile show, even as a customer, walk around and scatter baby mite eggs and mites everywhere. So my recommendation to you, if you go to a show, would be to treat everything you take, just to kind of give it a base coat because something falls on it, and to treat it when you take it out, just in case. I'm not talking about a full-blown soak, but just give it a little spritz and you'll be good to go. Something we started to kind of help combat that. Also, keep your eye on your collection afterwards, because there's no way the promoters can control that. People are like, well, look, you have 300 or 400 people or more come in that door. Most of them are reptile owners. It just takes one of them to have something and not know it and be dropping that, like off their clothes or hands or whatever, or one person who brought a snake and it had some eggs on it, not realize it because you can't really see them with the human eye, and to then somebody hold that, then come over here and over here. So it's just one of those things that's going to probably happen with shows. So be aware, treat that. If you buy something, I don't care who you buy it from. You can buy it from us. You can buy it from the best breeder in the world. I would still treat it. Keep a massive eye on it at first, just because you don't know who was walking around. It's just one of those things, right? So we'll do that. And then as we put them back, we'll go through the computer. Every animal that I take with me is logged as being with me. So like we had this Pastel Freeway, we had it on a major discount. For some reason, I'm bringing the damn thing home. It is logged as out with us. We will log that back in. So when we put it back, I will log it on the computer as back. And then what has sold, when we get to that, we'll log it off of our sales list so it's no longer there. So we have a current availability list that we can then share on our Patreon, and that when we go to the next show makes it easier to load stuff up from. So that's kind of the current system. Not telling you it's perfect, it's what we do. We'll probably kind of modify it and learn as we go. Caleb, anything you want to add?
Nope.
How did you think Kansas City went as a show? Kansas City Cold Blood Exotics.
It was pretty good. It's pretty busy.
Pretty busy.
Lots of foot traffic.
There was
We sold our first 5 snakes before 10 o'clock.
Did we really?
Yep.
Damn. First 5 before 10?
Yep.
Before the VIP started?
VIP started at 9.
And ended at 10.
Ended at 10.
Okay. So most of it's been slow from 9 to 9:30 and then picked up.
Yep.
Because I remember at first, I'm like, okay, well...
9 to 9:30 was pretty slow. It was about 9:30 is when it really picked up. We had... Yeah. Like...
Let's see. That's good. Because my
but
memory
the
was
first,
different.
like, the first... Technically, it was 5 snakes we sold, but it was only 3 transactions because the first 2...
Or 2 snakes.
Were 2 snakes, so...
Yep. And you'll have a lot of that at shows. You know, and another thing, too, at shows is like... We got 2 snakes we brought home, and I'm really surprised. I didn't think about package dealing them beforehand. But it is a Zebra Bee Exanthic. I don't need to say Exanthic. It's a Zebra Bee male, and there's a pastel yellow belly head Exanthic female. And that's a great pairing together for somebody who's just wanting to get into that Exanthic game. It'll push that, you know, a lot of genes that are easy to identify and make some really nice Exanthics, right? They can get super pastels, killer Zebra Bees, pastel yellow bellies, zebra yellow belly. There's a whole plethora of stuff there that you can make. And, you know, when you're at a show, I can really promote that as, hey, you know, this snake you really like, if you're wanting to get into breeding, you can get this one too. And even run a little package deal on that kind of stuff and try to move it out the door. And I enjoy doing that. Although I got stymied and I brought both of those home today. It sucks, but it happens. So anyway, there is that. Caleb, anything else you want to add?
Nope.
All right, guys, thanks for watching. We're going to put a few of these back and then think about what we're going to release on Patreon and kind of tell you some more of the dollars and cents of a show like this. All right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll catch you next time.